In the high-stakes, absolutely relentless race for AI dominance, one name has pretty much stolen the show: ChatGPT. But while it's been soaking up all the spotlight, its biggest rival was actually born right inside its own walls. It was forged from this fundamental disagreement about the future of AI itself. Today, we're talking about Anthropic and how its architects are building a very, very different kind of AI. All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll get into the philosophical split that literally created Anthropic. Then we'll dig into its unique safety-first philosophy and unpack their incredible technology, constitutional AI. After that, we'll follow the money, and oh boy, there's a lot of it, to see why big tech is betting billions on this vision. Then we'll put Claude head-to-head with ChatGPT. And finally, we'll look at what this whole rivalry really means for the future of AI. So how in the world did we get here? This wasn't just another tech startup popping up. No, this was more like a schism, kind of like an AI civil war. It was all sparked by this deep, deep conflict over safety and the right way to build something so powerful. It all kicked off back in 2020. Siblings Dario and Daniela Amore, who were both high-level execs at OpenAI, started getting really worried about the company's direction on safety. By early 2021, those worries boiled over into a full-on departure. They, along with 5 other key researchers from OpenAI, just walked away to build something new. And when they launched Anthropic, they didn't do it as a typical company. They set it up as a public benefit corporation, which is a legal structure that basically hard-codes a commitment to doing good. 2 years later, Claude was born. And this brings us right to the core idea that makes Anthropic, well, Anthropic. While pretty much everyone else was in this frantic race for bigger, more powerful models, Anthropic's mission was just fundamentally different. They weren't just trying to build AI, they were trying to build trustworthy AI. And you don't have to take my word for it. This is perfectly captured by the founder himself. Dario Amodi said, "We started Anthropic to build reliable, interpretable, and steerable AI systems." Pay attention to those 3 words: reliable, interpretable, and steerable. That's it. That's the bedrock of their entire philosophy. It's all about control, understanding, and predictability, in a field that's, let's be honest, often filled with black boxes. And this philosophy, it's literally baked right into their corporate DNA. Unlike OpenAI's, let's say, complex capped profit model, Anthropic is a public benefit corporation. Now, this isn't just some nice marketing phrase. It's a legal requirement for them to balance making money with the public good. And to make sure they stick to that mission, the whole company is governed by a trust of people who have no financial stake in it. This means their commitment to safety isn't just a promise. It is legally binding. So having a safety-first mission is great, but how do you actually build that into the code, right? How do you teach a machine to have ethics? Well, Anthropic's answer is a truly groundbreaking training method that sets them apart from literally everyone else in this space. They call it constitutional AI. And the core idea is actually simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Instead of just relying on humans to tell the AI what's right and wrong, you give the AI a set of principles, a constitution, and you teach it to judge itself against those rules. The whole goal is to create an AI that is helpful, harmless, and honest from the ground up. This all happens in 2 main phases. First, there's a supervised learning phase where the AI practices by generating a response, and then it critiques its own work against the Constitution and revises it to be better. Then comes the reinforcement learning phase, where a second AI model acts like a judge. It evaluates different outputs and rewards the one that follows the Constitution the best. This process basically teaches the main AI to develop a natural preference for safer, more ethical answers. Now, this is the key difference from the standard method, which is called RLHF. That approach relies on massive teams of human reviewers to label data. It's super expensive, it's slow, and it's full of human bias. Constitutional AI, on the other hand, uses AI to give the feedback. And that's Anthropic's big, unique bet, that you can scale up safety supervision way beyond what humans can do alone, making the whole process more consistent and a lot more robust. Look, a principled stand is one thing, but in the world of AI, you need colossal resources to even compete. And it turns out Anthropic's safety-first approach isn't just some ethical position. It's become a multi-billion-dollar competitive advantage, and it has big tech lining up to invest. First up, there's Amazon. They've poured a jaw-dropping $4 billion into Anthropic. And this isn't just cash, it's a deep strategic alliance. Anthropic now uses AWS as its main cloud provider, training and deploying its most advanced models right on Amazon's custom chips. But Amazon isn't the only one writing checks. A recent financing round led by some major venture capital firms injected another $3.5 billion. This sends a huge signal from the market that Anthropic's vision isn't just viable, it could be dominant. So, why the gold rush? Well, there are four key drivers. First, businesses are moving AI from just being an experiment into real, high-stakes production, and they simply cannot afford the risk of an unsafe AI. Second, Claude is killing it in coding, and that attracts developers who are the people who drive platform adoption. Third, what used to be an ethical issue, safety, is now a massive competitive advantage. And finally, these partnerships with Amazon and Google give Anthropic incredible sales channels directly to enterprise customers. All this philosophy and all this funding, it ultimately leads to one thing: a product that has to compete. So let's put Anthropic's Claude head-to-head with the reigning champ, OpenAI's ChatGPT, and see exactly how they stack up. And honestly, the data here might surprise you. This isn't just a story of a safer but weaker model. On some really critical benchmarks, Claude is an absolute beast. I mean, look at agentic coding. That's the ability to handle complex software engineering tasks. Claude Sonnet 4.5 scores a 77.2% on the benchmark, outperforming models like GPT-4. And yeah, while other models might have a slight edge in some areas like graduate-level reasoning, Claude is right there with them and even pulls ahead in things like math and tool use. The takeaway here is crystal clear. Anthropic is competing on performance, not just principles. So how do you choose? It really comes down to the task at hand. You'd want to pick Claude for its huge 200,000 token context window, which is amazing for analyzing long documents, and for any high-stakes business task where reliability is everything. It also really shines with advanced coding. On the other hand, you'd pick ChatGPT for its incredible versatility, its giant ecosystem of plugins, and its cutting-edge features like real-time voice and image analysis. Ultimately, this rivalry is about so much more than just two companies or two products. It represents a fundamental choice about how we, as a society, want to build the future of artificial intelligence. It's a true clash of philosophies. The entire industry is caught in this exact tension. On one side, you've got this relentless push for more speed, more capability, more innovation, no matter the cost. And on the other side, there's a growing call for more caution, more responsibility, and more safety. Anthropic has firmly planted its flag on the side of responsibility. You know, the success or failure of Anthropic's grand experiment is going to have profound implications for all of us. It's going to help answer whether a safety-first approach can actually win in a market that's obsessed with speed. So as we watch this race unfold, the question isn't just which AI is better. It's about which philosophy will ultimately define our future. The next chapter of AI is being written right now. The only question is, who gets to be the author?